Welcome to Pattern and Craft. I'm Courtney, and in today's video, I wanted to show you how to make these cute little crochet snowflake ornaments. These are easy to make, they don't take much time, they don't take much yarn, and they're a really fun way to decorate for the winter season, for the holidays. I use them to decorate my tree, to decorate my mantle, and I also add them to all my Christmas cards so that everyone who receives a Christmas card from me gets an ornament as well. So like I said, these are easy to make. They only use basic stitches and they take 5 rounds to complete. You can probably get one done once you get the hang of it, once you understand the pattern in maybe half an hour. So let's get started. I want to show you the materials. So the yarn I found that works best for these is either 100% acrylic or a cotton acrylic blend. And you're going to want to use one that's a finer weight, maybe a number 2 or number 3 yarns. So a sport weight or a DK, like a lighter DK, is a really good weight. Today I'm going to be using the Yarn Bee Soft and Sleek. It's 100% acrylic in the color Ivory, and I am using a 4mm Clover Amour crochet hook. You'll also need a tapestry needle for weaving in your ends and a pair of scissors. So to get started, I like to start with a magic ring. If you prefer a different ring start, you can of course use that. I'm making an X, my tail is here, my working end of my yarn is here. I go under, over, pull through and twist, yarn over, and pull through for a chain 1. I also like to untwist my tail a little bit. I am going to work over the tail as I work into this ring so that my ring is actually 2 yarns thick. So now I have 1 chain on my hook, and I have my ring that I'm going to be working into, and I'm going to want to chain 4 more, so a total of chain 5. 3 of these chains represents a double crochet and 2 represents just a chain 2. Now we're going to work back into the ring with a double crochet. This is US terminology, by the way. Chain 2, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, chain 2, 1 more double crochet for a total of 6 double crochet into the ring, chain 2, and now we're going to pull our tail tight so that our magic ring closes. And then we're going to slip stitch into this first chain space to close our round. So now we have this cute little wagon wheel kind of shape. You can kind of see the center of our snowflake starting to form. So I've slip stitched into this chain space. I need to now pull up a loop. I have 2 loops on my hook. I'm just going to yarn over and pull through for a single crochet. And I'm going to make 2 more single crochet into the same chain space. So now I have 3 single crochet into this chain space. Now I'm going to chain 2, 1, 2, and then work 3 single crochet into the next chain space. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to chain 2, 1, 2, work 3 single crochet in the next chain space. 1, 2, 3. Shift your stitches around if you need to. Chain 2, 1, 2. 3 single crochet into the chain space, 1, 2, 3, and that's our pattern all the way around. 1, 2 chains, 3 single crochet, chain 2, 3 single crochet into the last chain space, chain 2, and now we're going to slip stitch into the first stitch of this round, round 2, into this top of this single crochet here. And then we are done with round 2. We still have our sort of wagon wheel shape, and we've worked 3 single crochets in each chain space separated by a chain 2, which forms this little spot that we can work into for our next round. So the next round, I'm actually going to insert my hook back to that same place that I slip stitched and pull up a loop, and then create a single crochet there. And we're going to make 1 more single crochet in the next 2 stitches. So that I've kind of stacked a single crochet on top of each of the single crochets from the previous round along the side. And then here into this little corner chain space, I'm going to do 1 single crochet, chain 2, and 1 more single crochet into that corner chain space. And then I'm going to repeat that. So 3 single crochet along the edge, 1 into each stitch. 1, 2, 3, and then 1 single crochet into the chain space, chain 2, 1 more single crochet into the chain space, and then 3 single crochet along the side, 1, 2, 3. I'm at the next corner now, so single crochet into the chain space, chain 2, single crochet into the chain space. I'm at the next side, so 3 single crochet, 1 into each stitch, 1, 2, 3. You can see what we're getting is sort of a little hexagon shape with sort of a flower in the middle. Now we're at the next corner, so 1 single crochet into the corner, chain 2, 1 more single crochet into the corner chain space, 3 single crochet along the edge, 1, 2, 3, 1 into the chain space, chain 2, another into the chain space, 1 single crochet into each stitch, so 1, 2, 3 single crochet along that side, 1 single crochet into the corner, chain 2, 1 more single crochet into the corner, and now we're finished with the round, so we're going to slip stitch into the first single crochet that we made into the top of that stitch. It can be a little tight, there we go. And then next, for the next round, I want to start in the corner chain space. So I need to get from here to there, and I'm going to do that by slip stitching into each of these stitches along the edge. So into the next stitch, slip stitch, into the next stitch after that, slip stitch, into the next stitch, slip stitch, and into the corner chain space, slip stitch. And there we are. That's the end of round 3, and we're ready to start round 4. So now we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, plus 2 more. This first chain 3 represents a double crochet. Now we do 2 chains for the chain space. Now we're going to do a double crochet back into this chain space here. Then chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Then 1 more double crochet back into the chain space. Chain 2, 1, 2, and a final and 4th double crochet into the chain space. So this is the pattern we're going to make into each of the 6 corners of our next round, or of this round. And we're actually going to chain 1 in between. So make 1 chain, and now make that pattern again. So into the next chain space, we're going to do a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, chain 3, double crochet, chain 2, and our last double crochet into the corner chain space. There we go. So this first one is a slightly smaller chain space, the first and last, and then we get a little bigger chain space in the middle because it's double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, chain 3, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet. Now we're going to chain 1 and then work into the next corner with the same pattern. So double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, chain 3, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, chain 1, and then into the next corner, work our same corner pattern, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, chain 3, double crochet, chain 2, and double crochet. So you can see our cute little pattern is forming that is making the final shape of our snowflake. We do have 1 more round after this that will clean up the edge and kind of reinforce the shape. Now chain 1, work another corner, and I'm going to speed up here and you can just work the corner with the same pattern, and I'll meet you when we're almost done with the round so I can show you how to join and start the next round. Okay, I'm working my last double crochet of my last corner, chain 1, and now I just need to slip stitch into this first chain space to finish the round and close the round. There is our round 4. Now it is time to do round 5, and the final round is round 5. We're going to pull up a loop in the same chain space, pull through for a single crochet, and then make 2 more single crochet in the same chain space. So we've worked 3 single crochet into this first chain space of our corner shape. Now we're going to work 2 single crochet in the next chain space. And now we're going to make a picot. So we're going to do that by chaining 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to insert our hook. This is the last single crochet we made. We're going to insert our hook into the bar or the front loop of that stitch, and then the front leg of that stitch. And we're going to bring our yarn forward and then pull it through for a slip stitch, and then make 2 more single crochet into the same chain space. Don't worry, I'll show you that again because I was kind of having a little issue with my yarn, so I'll demonstrate that one more time. But first we do 3 more single crochet into the chain space, 1, 2, 3, and then 1 single crochet into this empty spot, sort of where we made the chain 1 between the corners. And now we have one of our corners done, all the way done, and we just need to make 5 more. So let's go into the next of our corners and finish it off. So single crochet 3 times into this first chain space, then 2 single crochet into the larger center chain space, 1, 2. Now we're going to do that chain 3 picot. So chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Now insert our hook into the front loop or the top bar. It's both refer to the same thing, and the front leg of that little single crochet stitch. So through the bar and through the leg, and then bring our yarn to the front and pull it through and pull it through the loop on our hook, and that makes your picot. The picot is just the name for this little piece that sticks out and makes a cute little point. Now back into our same chain space, make 2 more single crochets, and that completes our cute little pointy corner. And into the last chain space of this corner, we do 3 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, and then we make 1 single crochet into this next chain space. And then we're done with that corner. So you can see our cute little snowflake forming now, and how it's sort of reinforced and it holds its shape with all these little single crochets around the edges. So that's how that's going to look when it's all done. Now let's do the next one together, and then we can jump ahead. So into this first chain space, remember we make 3 single crochet, 1, 2, 3. Then we make 2 into the larger central chain space, 1, 2. Then we create our chain 3 picot. So chain 3, insert our hook into the single crochet, bring our yarn forward, pull it through and pull it through for a slip stitch. 2 more single crochet into the chain space, 3 single crochet into the next chain space, 1, 2, shift your stitches around if you need to, 3, and then 1 single crochet into the next chain space. There we go. So I'm going to keep going around, and I'll meet you for finishing off over here. But just repeat the same pattern into this corner, and this corner. All right, I'm at the very last stitch. I'm making a single crochet into that chain space, and I'm back to where I started. So I'm going to pull this yarn out and cut it. And now I'm going to pull this yarn out. It's coming out the top of the stitch. I'm gonna put my tapestry needle on the yarn, and then I'm going to skip the next stitch and then go through the top 2 loops of the next stitch. See that? I don't know if you can hear my cat or not. And then back down into the stitch the yarn's coming out of, so that we get an invisible join. So that's that. I'm gonna hide my ends into my work. You don't need to be too worried about these ends popping out or anything, since it's not a garment or a blanket or anything that's going to be worn or washed or have very much wear and tear. So we can just kind of hide the end. You don't have to do a whole lot of weaving in. You can cut that. And I'm going to do the same for my starting yarn tail. Just thread the needle. I'm using a blunt tipped tapestry needle. And I'm going to keep going in this same clockwise direction for my magic ring so that I reinforce this magic ring with a few more passes of yarn. You don't want to go back the other direction because that will just unwind your magic ring and make it fail. So make sure you're going in the same direction that the yarn was going. And go through a few more times. Again, this isn't going to have a lot of stress on it, so you don't need to worry too much about it having to have a lot of reinforcement. Now we're going to just go up into the stitch and hide our yarn somewhere in our work. Now I'm going to cut that. And we can use our tail of our yarn to just create a hanging loop if we want. I'll probably go through one of the picots, so I'll insert my hook through that chain 3, pull my yarn through, and then tie it in a little knot. You can also use a metallic thread, something a little more decorative if you want. And there's your snowflake. So I also like to hand shape them a little because when you're first done, it's a little wonky, but if you just put it down on a flat surface and kind of pull each corner and kind of flatten it out, that gives it a nice shape. And you can also either wet block it or steam block it, and that helps too. So to wet block it, you just soak it in hot water for 10-20 minutes, then pat it dry on a towel, and you can either pin it or just stretch it out on your towel and let it air dry. To steam block it, you'll use either a towel or some blocking boards and probably pin each corner and then steam it with a garment steamer. So that's another way to get it to have a nice uniform shape and to lay flat. When I ship these in my Christmas cards, I put them inside the Christmas card and then inside an envelope so they kind of get flattened in the mail as well. But even without blocking and without steaming and without starching or anything like that, it holds its shape. It stays pretty flat. You can adjust little spots that maybe aren't perfect with your fingers. And then it really is a nice stiff little ornament that's going to look great hung up on the tree, hung up on a window, hanging from the mantle. You could put it on a gift bag. It's a cute little versatile decoration, and they're really, really quick to make, and they're really fun. They're really satisfying to make. They don't use a lot of yarn. You can get something like 25 ornaments per ball of yarn, or you could just use up scraps that you have of various different yarns that are in snowflakey colors like this, or in fun, bright colors if you want. So I hope you enjoyed watching this tutorial. I will have a pattern for this available as a written pattern, as a downloadable PDF in my pattern shop. Always check the description of the video. I add the materials list, I add any kind of additional info that you might want, all my social links, and my pattern shop links. I sell on Ravelry, Etsy, Love Crafts, and I think there's one more that I sell on as well. So definitely check that out. And I do have more patterns of different styles of snowflakes available. I have a video from last year that shows a different version of snowflakes, so go check that out as well if you want to make a few different types. And check my pattern shop. As I mentioned, I have some larger ones. This is maybe 3 inches in size. I have some that are a little larger as well and a little bit more complex if you want a little bit more of a challenge. I will probably do a few more videos like this before Christmas comes so you can have some more designs to make. But I thought I'd get you started since it is November now and it's time to start making this kind of thing. All right, I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. I'll see you next time and happy crafting!